Better check my phone. I've been called the last 2 times. All right, ready? Yep. All right, good afternoon, councillors and staff. Welcome to our March Ordinary Council meeting. Please be advised that this council meeting is being recorded and live streamed. By speaking at this meeting, you agree to being recorded and live streamed. Please ensure that if and when you speak, you are respectful to others and use appropriate language at all times. Cabonne Council accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this meeting. The recording of this meeting will be made public available on Council's website. And welcome back to Councillor Nash. A couple of leave of absence, so welcome back, Councillor Nash. And with that, I'll call the first item, application for the leave of absence. I have one from Councillor Poole. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Rawson, seconded by Councillor Oldham. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 2 is declarations of interest. A mover and seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Weaver, seconded by Councillor Nash. Anything to declare, anybody? Nothing. All clean sheet today. I've got nothing, so I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 3 is declarations of political donations. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Oldham, seconded by Councillor O'Ryan. I've got nothing to declare. Anybody got anything to declare? Thank you, everybody. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 4 is Committee of the Whole section of the meeting. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Nash, seconded by Councillor Jones. Does anybody wish to call any items in Committee of the Whole? Nothing at this stage? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 5 is mayoral minute of appointments. I'll move that, and I have table report. So I know Councillor O'Ryan has, Councillor Jones has, Councillor Rawson has, and Councillor Oldham has. Thank you. Councillor Batten has. Councillor Weaver just has. And that's it. Well done, everybody. Busy month. Nothing anybody wishes to verbalise? Verbalise? Nothing verbal? Okay. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 6 is confirmation of minutes, and you see the list of the meetings there with the minutes. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor Batten. All the minutes okay? Yep. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 7 is the policy register, Cabonne Home Support and Community Transport Policy. Can I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Weaver, second by Councillor Nash. Any discussion on the register? All pretty straightforward? Yeah. All right, thank you, everybody. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 8 is Anzac Day 2024. Can I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Rawson, seconded by Councillor Jones. All right, just a couple of things with Anzac Day. 1, apologies, I won't be here. I'll be away, so I cannot commit to any of the ceremonies, unfortunately. And I've just been told today that Yeovil, the 6 a.m. service may not go ahead, so they might be cancelling that one and just going with the 10:30. So we'll just maybe just fill that position and get some more info later if we need to whoever wants to go to that. But if we don't get anybody initially, we'll probably deal with it if it goes on. We might even leave it blank because there's a fair schedule there that everybody's got to try and get round. So do you want to, they're all there, do you want to nominate some councillors to attend now? Get it sorted, yep, so you know where you're going. I think that's the best way.
I'm happy to do Oberley and Yeovil, Mr Mayor, or come knocking Yeovil if someone particularly wants to get Oberley. But I'm happy to
just
do
write these
those
down.
and I think
Oberley.
I can probably reaffirm what you said, that one of the reasons I think that Yeovil's not planning the early one is to support Oberlin.
So you're going to, sorry, Councillor Batten, Oberlin, and what was the other one you said? Yeovil? At 10:30, yep.
Mr Mayor,
Yep.
I do all three at Canowindra.
All right, Councillor Orion, 10:45 at Eugowra, thank you.
I could do Trudell and Laura North, and usually
As will I, like
Councillor
we did
Rawson does
before.
those two.
So Boranor and Kidal. Plus one other if there's a need.
Councillor Nash, are you able to do Manildra? I was just going to ask if somebody could do Cumnor. Well, I don't.
Cumnock. That's an early one.
No, I've got Eugowra covered. We've probably, Deputy Mayor's going to do Molong, so we're really. Well, we might put him in for that, for Tugong. And if there's a drama, we'll deal with it. The only other one would be Cumnock. You sure? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think if we can't get the dawn service done, we'll just have to do one. There is a Eugowra dawn service, but if we can't get to it, we can't get to it. Exactly, yeah. So at this stage, that's the only one that really isn't accounted for is the Eugowra dawn service, from what I can see. Is that right? And yeah, Council Poole can't get from Eugowra to Tugong. No. All right, that's the way it has to be.
Look, if Councillor Poole can't do either of those, or like Tugong in particular, I'm happy to do the Tugong if he can't make it.
If he's able to do Tugong, or between the two of you, could you sort out Tugong and Eugowra, perhaps, at a pinch?
At a pinch, I guess we could at a pinch.
I mean, do what you can do. If you can't, you can't. Right, well, done. Thank you, everybody. Any further discussion on that? All happy? And we just wait for the Yeovil early start one. But all right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 9 is request for donation of general rates and water and sewage charges for the yarn market. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Rawson, second by Councillor Oldham. Any discussion on that at all? And just from history, I think it's, we'll just try to work out earlier, I think it's something that's gone on for a long time, a donation to that organisation, so. No discussion?
No, I think it's,
Everybody's happy?
of course, I think
Yep.
it's
I'll put that. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? That's carried. Item 10 is request for donation to St John's Ambulance, Molong Cadet Division. Moved by Councillor Weaver, second by Councillor Jones. Great cause, do a great
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Speaks for itself, I think.
Yep.
Everybody happy with that?
Yes.
I'll put that. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? That's carried. Item 11 is the 2024 Local Roads Congress. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Rawson, seconded by councillor Nash. Now, can I just add to the recommendation or his representative and have that representative be a alternate? Should I not be able to go to this? I think we did the same last year, so I think you went
I
last
went
year.
last time, yeah.
So would anybody express an interest to be an alternate? Should I not be going? Councillor Batten's expression interest, or Councillor Rawson?
Yeah, I'm happy to go. I'm on the roads committee, so it sort of makes sense. And happy to go if you can't go. Yeah, no, it was actually a good meeting.
All right. Order of preference?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no. I don't mind. I'm easy. I did it last time, so.
All right, so we can put down an alternate being Councillor Rawson. Should you be unavailable, Councillor Batten?
And, well,
Stand by.
depends
Two
on whether you're
standbys.
going.
All right.
It's the 3rd of June.
Yeah.
3rd of June.
Any further discussion on that? No? I'll put that. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against, that's carried. Item 12 is the proposal for a relocation of animal holding facility at Molong. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor Weaver. This report's come about as a result of the discussion in our energy subcommittee last Tuesday fortnight. And also after increasing number of complaints about the facility. So everybody's aware that this facility is the facility that holds the dogs impounded for the entire Cabon area. And as the report details, it probably was fit for purpose a while ago, but it's sort of outlived its fit for purpose time, I think. There's been more development up and around that area, and as the Deputy General Manager pointed out, in that there's been a change in the Companion Animal Act that really restricts the forwarding on of the dogs from the location. They really all have to be rehomed unless they're deemed to be dangerous. So that means that we have to hold the dogs until they can be homed or rehomed. So there was some discussion in that subcommittee meeting about, we're all aware that there was a proposal put forward for a very flash facility. It was discussed whether or not we can really virtually transfer that existing holding facilities to where we were going to build the flash facility. So as the report details, there's some things that have to be done about shade and water and concrete slabs and so on. But more importantly, we have to find somewhere to get the money from. So I'll throw that out there for discussion if you like, or somebody to talk to it for it. Councillor Jones?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Probably very much was going to say very much in line with what you were saying. You know, this is a holding facility for all of Cabon as well. So not just the Molong area, but all of Cabon. And I thank the Deputy General Manager for working with Council to bring forward this report. As you said, Mr. Mayor, the holding facility must be moved from its current location. In the last 5 or 10 years, development in that area has occurred adjacent to the facility, a lot more residential development, and we've also had a number of other factors that have played a part in that, the need for that facility. COVID's seen an increase in people purchasing dogs, and also an increase in, following COVID, an increase in animal homing, rehoming services being chock-a-block. There's also issues around cost of living, which has obviously increased the need for this service. Despite it only looking like we get on average 25 dogs a year due to the change in legislation, the dogs that we are holding in this facility are there for a much longer period of time, sometimes up to months. Last June, as you've mentioned, we we approved a development application to establish a new facility at the treatment works. And I think we've now come to the realisation that, when we looked at that back then, we were in the lead up to a state election and hoping for some sort of a Goldilocks grant, so to speak, but that hasn't come about. Things have become much tighter fiscally, so we need to adapt and look at the new design, and how we're going to fund this new facility. So I'd just encourage councillors that we either look at funding it in the next financial year's budget or reallocating any savings from this financial year to address this issue.
Thank you. Any other discussion at all? Councillor Rawson? Oh, you switched her off.
Just switch it off, sorry. No, look, I agree. I think we need to come up with some solution to this problem, and certainly the location that's been identified appears appropriate. Is it flood prone where that location is? Like, was it under?
Parts of that area are flood prone, but the higher section's not.
So it's even
About half of it.
even in the flood that we,
Not at all. Yeah.
even the 2022 flood was okay. It was okay. All right. So at least if we rehome, if we place it down there, we're not putting dogs into danger if there's a flood comes through. Is really the reason why I'm asking. Look, this is just saying the recommendation is that a further report be provided to council scoping the relocation. I totally agree. So I've got no problem with that. And it's certainly something that needs redress. Yeah.
Any other discussion at all? No? Yeah, look, it's certainly something we've got to address. It's just not going away, so. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. Thank you, everybody. Item 13 is the draft local approvals policy. Can I have a mover, please, and a seconder? Councillor Batten, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Weaver. Any discussion on that at all? No? It's pretty straightforward. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. Item 14 is exhibition of development control plan number 15, relocatable and transportable homes. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Batten. Any discussion on that at all? No? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. Item 15 is planning proposal for an additional permit use Eugowra Community Childcare Centre's permanent preschool and long day care centre at Eugowra Showground. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Rawson. Any discussion on that at all? No, pretty straightforward. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. Item 16 is questions for next meeting. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Nash, seconded by Councillor Weaver. Does anybody have any questions for next meeting? Councillor Nash.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. As you know, now that I have a wheelchair, a husband with a wheelchair, I was in Molong the other day and it was raining and it was very hard to get across the street. So I'm just wondering, it's funny, these things that life throw you find other things that people need. And I think there needs to be a lot more thought about when you're doing the streets to give more access, like where Lyman Stone is and down the bottom of the street. There just isn't any place you have to go way up to get across with a wheelchair. So I just think, if we could just have a little bit more disabled thinking when we're doing our new streetscape, it'd be really good. And if, we can get a report or someone to have a look at it, please.
I think Matt will correct me if I'm wrong, but the other side is getting the blister there so you can cross in the middle, so that pedestrian refuge.
Yeah, it's coming down from the street, that
from the curb.
No, that's going to be straight across there, that one in the middle near the cane shop, so it's smack in the middle of the block.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that'll be all flat.
Right.
So one side is already flat, the other side will be done and it'll be flat. So that's just to refer to Marlon, that's all.
Yeah, it's just something to think about
Yeah.
when you're designing any town. It's stressed out. Yeah. People that say there's a lot of people around.
In Canandra, actually, in our main street, we've got a couple of those sort of big complex ramp things, you know, with all the railings and stuff. But there's not actually disabled parking there with them. Well, people do park there because, but there's no signage.
It's not disabled parking because you get a lot more space.
Yes.
Get a wheelchair in to get someone into your car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still that'd be good. Just have to think about more disabled things in the when we're on the streets.
If I can just add something, Mr Mayor. Years ago, when we were talking about disabled access in our towns, the then mayor was put in a wheelchair and directed it through each town for access. And a couple of the councillors went with him, and it was amazing the places you couldn't go to with wheelchairs. And it wasn't a bad exercise, really. Just for your
What is
interest.
this?
Just suggesting.
Well, the story about disabled, when we were in Orange and we haven't got sticky yet, so I parked in a normal spot where there was about 4 spaces, so they would get the wheelchair and Jimmy out, but I had to, then the next thing when we come out, there was a car right next to me. And so I parked him over near the trolleys, and then this stupid woman came and I said, no one will get you there, but then she went back to my practice, and I had to put my car out, try and get him in, so yeah, you need to start parking, definitely. It's a lot wider, yeah. So now I go to disabled without the sticker.
Through you, Mr Mayor, Council would remember we have just adopted our Disability Inclusion Action Plan, which does discuss Council's commitment to undertake design which incorporates universal access standards and so on. However, the existing infrastructure that's in place doesn't always comply with those standards. So happy to take requests as they come up to yourselves, councillors, to have a look at specific areas. But rest assured that all of our designs do take into consideration our commitment.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions for next meeting at all? Nope. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. Item 17 is business paper items for noting. Before I ask for a mover in a second, I'll just draw your attention to the supplementary reports. There is an additional item there, item 11 for noting. Did you see all that there? Just have a look at that if you didn't. So can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Batten, second by Councillor Jones. Does anybody wish to call any of those noting papers out, including the supplementary 11?
Item 4, I've got a question of you, Mr Mayor. It's the JO
Yep.
budget.
Yeah, hang on, yep, I'll just get that from you in a second. Has anybody else got any? Nothing? Oh, yeah. Number 11? Yeah, it is number 11, if that's the one you're referring to. So if you go right down to the bottom, the Capital Works Program, forecast completion. Is that the one? No, that's just a separate item. So we're just going to noting, and it was just that the extra supplementary noting was number 11, which is the Capital Works Program forecast, which I hadn't seen earlier either, so it was pointed out to me, so there's no dramas if you didn't see it. It's just the forecasting of it. Has everybody seen it there? They know it yet? Okay. So no other items to be called out for noting? All right, well, we'll call out Councillor Batten's asked for item 4 for the noting.
The JO draft budget statement of revenue, that's what I was looking at.
Yep.
I was just interested from your perspective as the chair of the JO. I mean, it looks to be in a very, very healthy position, and if I'm not wrong, our JO is probably regarded as one of the better performing joint organisations. I'm just interested in the process of actually framing this budget. Can you shed some light on how you got to a point where it looks like a pretty impressive little operation?
Yeah, look, there's a number of factors there. One, it's a very, very good executive officer who's got an eye and a hand on everything, and staff. They've applied for and been successful in a number of grant applications as well throughout that. So that's all I can add to that. But is that it's a very well-oiled machine, the staff there, and as you can see by some of the cost savings through the procurement and so on, they really work hard to ensure that member councils are getting a big benefit. But yeah. Yep.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yes, Councillor Batten, well, I actually attended the JO meeting now because I'm the one that was in Condobolin, which is, this mentions, as the new chair of CTW, and I thought it was an excellently run and organised, and the discussion was very good amongst the mayors in particular, but there was a lot of subsequent follow-up with the staff of the JO, and there's not just, you know, the executive officer, but there's a team sits under them with different portfolios. I ended up having a couple of meetings with 2 different portfolio people in the few days after, in the week after that, and managed to get, you know, some things modified slightly, which will go back up to the JO in time. But as the Mayor says, it's a well-oiled machine. They've got some pretty good people working with them, so it's certainly something we should continue to support, and as they do at every meeting, they indicate the net cost savings of having the JO, which are quite substantial. So yeah, it's an excellent forum.
Thank you. There's nothing else. Anybody called out? So if everybody's happy, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you, everybody. Item 18 is matters of urgency. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Rawson, seconded by Councillor Weaver. Does anybody have anything urgent? Nope. All right. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 9 is committee of the whole section. We don't have any, but I'll need a mover and a seconder for us to progress. Moved by Councillor Ryan, second by Councillor Weaver. We have nothing called in the committee of the whole, so I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Now to our supplementary reports, which is item 20. Everybody with me with the supplementaries, the additional reports? So item 20 is request for access to funding for replacement of LED lighting at Canowindra Sports Oval. Can I have a mover? Moved by Councillor Weaver, second by Councillor Rawson. Any discussion? Councillor Weaver.
No, Mr Mayor. I misread it, sorry.
That's all right. Any discussion at all then? No? Everybody happy with that? Yeah. All right. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Item 21 is the confirmation of Cabonne Local Traffic Committee meeting minutes. Mover, And a seconder, moved by councillor Weaver, seconded by councillor Rawson. Any discussion on the minutes of the traffic meeting? Councillor Patton.
Mayor, I just might note discussions at the local traffic committee, and the Deputy General Manager Infrastructure may like to elaborate a bit more around the ongoing issue of the intersection at Yeovil. That's generated quite a bit of publicity, both on TV and this morning on radio, actually, on Talking Town Yeovil. So it is at a point where the community is very, very concerned about it, and I know the Deputy General Manager has pursued it, so opportunity, I think, to elaborate on what's been discussed and where it's going.
Yeah, thanks for raising that, Councillor Batten. As you pointed out, that the television story on Prime was brought about through a image that was on Facebook of a near miss. That was a couple of weeks ago, I think, and I did see it myself. Vehicle's gone through the giveaway and nearly hit a vehicle travelling on Renshaw McGurr. So in seeing that, I spoke with the Deputy General Manager and then the General Manager, and I rang because we seem to be toing and froing with the Traffic Committee about this, about what to do, and they didn't want to put a stop sign there, and I think Deputy General Manager will explain the reasoning behind that. So I made a phone call to Alistair Lunn, who is the Director in charge of Traffic for New South Wales for the Western area, and it's virtually said enough's enough, we need to get something done about this. And he did explain why the stop sign wasn't there, but Matt will speak to that further in a minute. I'll ask him to speak further. But his reply was that he, you know, when we put it to the Traffic Committee, they just said, no, you can't have a stop sign there, but they didn't come up with an alternative about some sort of warning device for the intersection. So, and I explained that to him, and he said, righto, well, he gave a commitment to work with council to come up with a solution for warning devices for the intersection, on the phone with me that day. So that was the day that went to the air for that television story. And I don't know whether he's made any contact or their team have with it, but I'll hand over to Matt to update a bit further.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So following the Mayor's phone call, negotiations have been undertaken with Transport for New South Wales on a workable solution. The solution that was put forward to the local traffic committee and was agreed to by the local traffic committee when the request was made for specifications to deliver on that, there were no specifications for it, and hence Transport for New South Wales suggested that it wasn't appropriate to undertake that. So a lot of backwards and forwards with Transport for New South Wales and Council to determine an appropriate alternative to that. Now, I will apologise to Council that it has dragged on too long with regards to those backwards and forwards, but it appears we've come to a solution now which is along the same veins of what was suggested by the local traffic committee, which was parallel raised lines leading to the intersection to warn motorists of the need to give way, and larger signs warning of the give way ahead approaches. Those signs are in the process of just getting the final approvals. There will be a lead time of 4 to 6 weeks to get that in place, and we expect to be able to deliver that shortly. So we should be able to see some action in the next few months of those getting delivered.
And based on the fact that Banjo Patterson Way is a state road, regional road, we can expect that they won't cost shift to Combined Council the cost of that project.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'll try. Both of those roads are funded to council by the block grant, which is an acknowledgement of the expenses from the state to be able to manage those. But I'm more than happy for someone else to pay for it.
Councillor Rawson.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just a question to the Deputy General Manager. I noticed in the report that Traffic for New South Wales is suggesting that people should be directed to the Safe Roads portal if they wish to have, you know, a speed check. Now, these are things that come to me a lot, you know, in dealing with the local progress associations, and I pass it on to you or via our normal process. Which would you recommend? I mean, is it safe to be using directing our people to contact Transport for New South Wales directly via this portal, or would they get a better result if they did it the current way through councillors and into the traffic committee, which is, I mean, clearly in this instance, a phone call from the mayor actually got action, which is the best way of doing it.
Through you, Mr Mayor, I would hope that either way would come to some sort of result, whether it's agreement or not, to the matter. The advice to the public would be that they could go either way, go in the Safer Roads portal or put it to council, and council considers it for the local traffic committee and we put it for the Safer Roads portal. The second one's a little bit longer to process because the traffic committee only meets once every 3 months. So it's a time sensitive matter, a little bit different. Personally, I think it's good for council to have a weigh-in on these types of items and give its opinion of if it's supported or not. It may not be a supported initiative. So I certainly don't think it hurts to have council consider it from the local traffic committee and come forward, and might just put that little bit of extra weight in on the assessment that's undertaken. But either way, it still should have the same level of attention by Transport for New South Wales.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that, the second way, because if we become aware of it and know of it, we can push the issue, but then we are aware of it because there's going to be other complaints, I would suggest, in regards to that issue. All right, anything further? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 22 is terms of reference for the local traffic committee. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Rawson, second by Councillor Nash, and Matt wishes to speak to that.
Through Mr Mayor, I won't labour on the point. I just wanted to note to the councillors that the council's not suggesting that this goes out to public comment. It's a statutory committee, so the terms of reference are fairly hard. They won't be changing even if we go to public exhibition. So it's suggested that council just, if it agrees with the terms of reference, adopts it, and then it becomes the terms of reference for the council as an internal committee, basically.
Any discussion on that at all?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. It's just essentially as it currently is operating, is it not?
Through Mr Mayor, yes, we operate the local traffic committee on the guidelines set by Transport for New South Wales. However, I think it's important for the council to have a understanding how the terms of reference of the local traffic committee works and how it links in statutory. And I don't think that the council or the organisation necessarily has that understanding if it's a separate document that's held in a separate website to what council has. So I'd rather have a terms of reference that council can own, which ties in with the statutory requirements.
Any further discussion? Nope. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. All right, we'll now move out of the